Imagine yourself at the controls of a cutting-edge surveillance aircraft, slicing through the turbulent, sun-bleached skies above northern Iraq. The hum of advanced avionics fills your ears. Suddenly, out of the empty blue, a metallic sphere appears, a gleaming, perfectly symmetrical orb that seems to defy the laws of aerodynamics. It does not dart or swoop. Instead, it simply materializes, maintaining your altitude and speed as if tethered by some invisible thread. Every instinct tells you this should not be possible. You blink, convinced your mind is playing tricks, but the orb remains steady, silent, and uncannily aware of your presence. For those 4 heart-pounding seconds, the world as you know it seems to tilt. Is this a pivotal moment in human history? Is this evidence of something or someone not of this earth? Or is there a more mundane, terrestrial explanation waiting to be uncovered? This is not a scene pulled from the fevered imagination of a Hollywood scriptwriter. It is a documented event, now known as the Mosul Orb Incident, captured on military video in April of the year 2016. The brief but electrifying footage has reignited a debate that has simmered for decades. The global puzzle of unidentified aerial phenomena, UAPs, as they are now officially called. For as long as humanity has looked to the skies, strange and unexplainable objects have been reported by pilots, military personnel, and civilians alike. But in recent years, a confluence of technology, transparency, and public curiosity has pushed the question into the mainstream. What, exactly, is up there? Governments around the globe are no longer able to dismiss these encounters as mere fantasy. The United States, long associated with secretive UFO investigations, is no longer alone in this pursuit. In fact, France established a dedicated UAP investigation unit, known as GEIPAN, as early as the year 1977. This French team has painstakingly cataloged and analyzed every report, from fleeting lights to structured craft, creating one of the world's most robust archives of unexplained aerial events. Brazil, too, took the phenomenon seriously. In the same year that France launched GEIPAN, Brazil's military initiated Operation Saucer, an extensive mission in the Amazon intended to document and understand a sudden surge of mysterious lights and objects. Over the course of several months, Brazilian Air Force teams collected hundreds of hours of testimony, photographs, and sketches. The operation, once shrouded in secrecy, eventually revealed a trove of documents and interviews, fueling international intrigue. Even the United Kingdom maintained its secret Ministry of Defense UFO desk until as recently as the year 2009, quietly gathering and analyzing thousands of reports from across the British Isles. In Canada, officials declassified decades' worth of UFO files in the year 2021, providing the public with a glimpse into a history of strange encounters that had long been buried in government vaults. All of these efforts speak to a simple truth. This is not just an American curiosity. It is a global mystery that transcends borders, ideologies, and generations. As we stand in the 3rd decade of the 21st century, the question of what flies unseen above our heads has never been more urgent or more open. In the United States, the response to this growing enigma has been nothing short of historic. The Pentagon, once notorious for stonewalling inquiries, has ramped up its efforts to shed light on these elusive sightings. The creation of the All-Domain Anomaly Resolution Office, AARO for short, has brought unprecedented focus and resources to the task. Between May of the year 2023 and June of the following year, officials received more than 750 new reports of UAPs. Of these, just over 20 remain unexplained after rigorous analysis. While this may sound like a small fraction, each unsolved case represents a potential paradigm shift, a clue that could alter our understanding of technology, physics, or even life itself. Advanced artificial intelligence now sifts through terabytes of data, high-definition video, radar blips, satellite imagery, and pilot testimony. These AI-driven systems are capable of spotting patterns and anomalies that would elude human analysts. In a sense, humanity has enlisted its most powerful digital minds in the hunt for answers, hoping that machine learning will succeed where human intuition has faltered. The political stakes are equally high. In a rare display of bipartisan urgency, Congress passed the UAP Disclosure Act in the year 2024. The goal: to pry open decades of classified records and give the public an unfiltered look at what governments truly know. Yet, progress has been halting. Powerful interests, both within intelligence agencies and the defense establishment, have pushed back, delaying the release of key documents and redacting critical details. The world waits, hungry for revelations. But the closer we look, the more the mystery seems to deepen. Let's return to that fateful day over Mosul. The 4-second video, now circulating among top intelligence officials, has become an icon of the unknown. Journalist George Knapp, who has spent decades investigating the UFO phenomenon, describes the Mosul orb as a metallic ball, flying in perfect formation with a military spy plane. It neither wobbles nor deviates, maintaining altitude and speed with an ease that mocks conventional physics. Filmmaker Jeremy Corbell, who helped bring the footage to public attention, notes that UFOs are often reported in only a handful of basic shapes: spheres, pyramids, cubes, and cigars. These are not the streamlined contours we associate with supersonic flight. As Corbell puts it, "You have got a flying cube, a flying sphere. These shapes are not aerodynamic." The implication is clear. Whatever these objects are, they do not appear to be constrained by the same rules that govern our own aircraft. But caution is the watchword among experts. John Kozlowski, the director of AARO, has gone on record emphasizing that, so far, there is no verifiable evidence of extraterrestrial technology. For every tantalizing video, there are dozens of cases ultimately explained by weather phenomena, electronic malfunctions, or classified military projects. Astrophysicists like Adam Frank echo this skepticism, reminding the public that every extraordinary claim requires extraordinary evidence. Nature is filled with surprises, and unfamiliar technology does not automatically mean alien origin. Yet, not everyone is convinced by such caution. Former U.S. Navy pilot David Fravor, who famously encountered the so-called Tic Tac UAP off the coast of California, is adamant. "What we saw defies current understanding. If it's not ours, and not theirs, then what is it?" Fravor's words resonate with fellow pilots and military personnel who have witnessed objects outmaneuvering the world's most advanced fighter jets, accelerating and changing direction with speeds and agility that seem, frankly, impossible. These conflicting perspectives frame a debate that is as much about human psychology and politics as it is about science. On one side, you have those who warn against the dangers of wishful thinking and technological misinterpretation. On the other, those who argue that dismissing the unexplained is a missed opportunity, perhaps even a failure of imagination. As Harvard astrophysicist Avi Loeb has argued, it would be arrogant to believe that we are alone. The only way to know is to investigate with rigor and transparency. The national security implications of these questions are profound. Should these orbs and other UAPs be revealed as advanced technology from a rival nation, say China or Russia, the entire global defense landscape could shift overnight. Senator Marco Rubio, among others, has publicly voiced concerns about the possibility that foreign adversaries have developed breakthrough aerospace capabilities. If true, the United States and its allies would need to invest heavily in next-generation detection and defense systems. Already, hundreds of millions of dollars are being poured into artificial intelligence-powered analysis tools, radar upgrades, and satellite surveillance networks. But the consequences do not end with earthly geopolitics. Imagine for a moment that the breakthrough points not to rival nations, but to something entirely different, something that challenges our understanding of physics, or even our concept of what it means to be human. The mere possibility of discovering new laws of nature, or confirming the existence of extraterrestrial intelligence, would be a seismic event in history, rivaling the Copernican revolution or the first human steps on the moon. Governments are taking this possibility seriously. France's GEIPAN has spent nearly half a century compiling detailed case files, many of which remain unexplained despite exhaustive analysis. Canada and the United Kingdom, by releasing decades of previously classified files, have allowed researchers and the public to comb through thousands of sightings, each one a potential clue. Brazil's Operation Saucer, though less well known, collected hundreds of eyewitness accounts, sketches, and photographs from remote Amazonian communities, some of which describe phenomena that still defy conventional explanation. Despite these efforts, true transparency remains elusive. The UAP Disclosure Act of the year 2024 was intended to force the hand of secrecy, but bureaucratic inertia and institutional resistance have slowed the process. In the meantime, the public is left to sift through partial disclosures, redacted documents, and the occasional leak. Each new release stirs fresh debate, fueling both scientific curiosity and conspiracy theories. What does all this mean for you, the viewer, the citizen, the thinker? Above all, it is a call to embrace critical thinking and open-minded inquiry. The Mosul orb is a powerful symbol of the unknown, a reminder that mystery is not always a doorway to the extraordinary, but often an invitation to dig deeper. Do not settle for easy answers or wild speculation. Instead, demand rigorous science, transparent institutions, and open dialogue. The world's most important discoveries have always begun with a simple question: what if? There are practical implications as well. As artificial intelligence and data analysis rewrite the rules of detection and investigation, your understanding of technology, critical reasoning, and even personal privacy will become more crucial than ever. The boundary between science fiction and everyday reality is blurring. Today's unexplained orb could be tomorrow's breakthrough in propulsion, materials, science, or sensor technology. Or perhaps it will remain an enigma, spurring generations of researchers to keep searching. Let's not forget, of the more than 750 recent UAP reports submitted to the Pentagon, just over 20 remain unexplained. That means the overwhelming majority, after careful examination, do have mundane explanations. Weather balloons, optical illusions, misidentified aircraft, or experimental drones. Yet, a stubborn core of cases continue to defy logic and technology. Year after year, these anomalies persist, challenging both skeptics and believers alike. Sometimes, the greatest discoveries begin not with definitive answers, but with the courage to acknowledge what we do not yet understand. Consider the historical parallels. In the late 19th century, mysterious airships were reported across the American Midwest, decades before the Wright brothers' first flight. In the Cold War era, sightings of strange craft were often dismissed as Soviet or American spy planes, until decades later, when declassified documents revealed the existence of previously unknown aircraft, like the U-2 or the SR-71 Blackbird. Each time, the unknown spurred innovation, debate, and sometimes fear. Yet, it also propelled society forward, forcing us to expand the boundaries of the possible. Today, the Mosul orb joins a lineage of unexplained encounters. The Belgian UFO wave of 1989, the Phoenix Lights of 1997, the USS Princeton and USS Nimitz radar contacts of the early 2000s. Each incident adds another layer to the puzzle, another thread in the tapestry of human curiosity. Expert opinions remain sharply divided. Astrophysicist Adam Frank urges caution, insisting that extraordinary claims demand extraordinary evidence. He points out that the universe is vast and unpredictable, and that human perception is often flawed. Jeff Wise, an expert in aviation and electronic warfare, cautions that some of the most dramatic UAP movements might be the result of sophisticated sensor deception, electronic countermeasures that create the illusion of impossible flight paths. These technical possibilities must be ruled out before jumping to more exotic conclusions. On the other hand, voices like David Fravors cannot be easily dismissed. His direct, no-nonsense testimony has resonated with both lawmakers and the public. What we saw was real, and it was far superior to anything known, he maintains. Avi Loeb, the Harvard astronomer, is pushing for mainstream science to tackle the issue head-on, arguing that systematic, evidence-based research is the only path to real answers. As Loeb has said, if we find that UAPs are natural, technological, or extraterrestrial in origin, each outcome would revolutionize our understanding of the universe. The future holds several plausible scenarios. Increased transparency and data sharing could spark breakthroughs in physics or aerospace technology, ushering in a new era of discovery. If definitive evidence of extraterrestrial contact were ever confirmed, the societal shockwaves would be profound, altering religion, philosophy, and geopolitics in ways we can scarcely imagine. Alternatively, UAPs might ultimately be identified as advanced military technology or natural phenomena, prompting new investments in defense, surveillance, and scientific research. There is also the possibility that UAPs will remain unexplained, nurturing a perpetual cycle of curiosity, skepticism, and innovation. For you, the practical takeaway is this: stay curious, stay skeptical, and stay engaged. Artificial intelligence and advanced analytics are opening new windows into the unknown. As more governments and research institutions invest in these tools, your own digital literacy and critical thinking skills will become vital. The lines between classified military secrets, scientific breakthroughs, and public knowledge are being redrawn every day. So, does the Mosul orb finally unlock the truth about unidentified aerial phenomena? Or does it merely add another enigma to an already tangled web? For now, the answer remains elusive. According to John Kozlowski, director of the All-Domain Anomaly Resolution Office, no verifiable evidence of extraterrestrial technology has been found yet. But we can't rule out what we haven't truly explored. This is not an admission of defeat, but an invitation to question, to investigate, and to imagine. Here's a little-known fact. Of the more than 750 recent UAP reports received by the United States government, a small but persistent core, just over 20, continue to defy explanation. That means that while most cases are ultimately resolved, the mystery endures, quietly challenging our assumptions about the world. As the search for answers continues, you are not just a passive observer. You are part of the most important conversation of our time, a conversation about reality, possibility, and the human hunger to know. If you found this investigation thought-provoking, subscribe for more deep dives into the world's economic, technological, and scientific frontiers. Hit the like button, share your thoughts in the comments, and let us know. What do you think the Mosul orb represents? Are we on the verge of a paradigm shift? Or just scratching the surface of an even greater mystery?